Hello again. Well, you have joined, I hope, all the squares to your blanket. It looks nothing like this because this is actually my working sample. This is what I use for a lot of my tutorials when I'm showing you what to do. And the colours are nothing like the bonfire colours, but it doesn't matter. It's exactly the same. We've got the 4 round granny squares, and in this case, I have joined them with the pale green. This was the centre 9. Now in your blanket you've done 2 rounds going around the centre 9. I do know that, but I'm not going to worry about that for this sample because we're moving on to do the first round of granny stripe, and it's exactly the same whether it's on this round or on a different round. So what you are working with is a granny stripe with black yarn, and the final round going around the third round of granny squares you did in black as well. So it's all a bit dark, and I felt that for the tutorial I would steer clear of black and work with a paler colour. I'm going to take this pale citron colour that we used in the first square. I'm going to use that as my granny stripe. I think it will be clearer to see in on camera. Right, so we're going to start with a turn of the blanket because this is the front. You know it's the front. Further down in the middle there's the stitch marker, but also the join has got its ridge on the front every time. It looks different on the back. So this is the front of the blanket, and we're going to reverse it to do the round of granny stripe. So I'm going to turn this over and attach my yarn in the corner. There really is nothing much to think about apart from this bit where there's the join. We have to do the treble 2 together, which you probably will have seen if you've read through the pattern. So this was a round of half trebles. This was the joining round, but we're going to go back to working with trebles. That's double crochet in US terms. So you just want to find your center corner or find the corner space and attach your yarn. And as usual, we'll chain 2 to be the equivalent of the first treble crochet stitch, and then 1 treble, 2 in the corner. So that's half the corner made, and then into the next space with treble 3, and the next one we've got a few. I'll count them and show you. A few to do before we come to the join between the squares. So I've done my half of this corner and 2 clusters of trebles, and then I've got 2 more to make in this side of the blanket. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now you're working with black yarn, I know, and you're also working onto the join, which is in black as well. And as the tip that I did mention in the pattern was to either work on a white table or have a white pillowcase or tea towel or something that you can put across your lap, so that when you're working you can clearly see the spaces behind the black yarn. It's much easier to do that if you've got something light behind you. Now I've come to this point where you've got the 2 squares joining. You've got a corner space here and a corner space here. And what we want to do is actually put our treble 3 cluster over the top of that join rather than one in each space. If we put treble 3 there and treble 3 there, you would end up with far too many clusters and the whole blanket would start to get wavy and ripply. So we're going to make a treble 2 together cluster. So to start, yarn over, go into the first corner, yarn over and make your first treble as normal. And then yarn over, go back into that corner space, pull up your loop so that you've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2, but leave it at this point while you've still got 2 loops on the hook. You're not going to finish off that stitch. Instead, you're going to yarn over and go into the next corner, grab your yarn again and pull it up, and you've got 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then yarn over and pull through the next 3 loops, all the 3 loops. And what that has done, if I can actually put something maybe a little bit darker behind, you'll see it. You have got what looks like an upside down V stitch. There's your first treble, and this is the treble 2 together. So you've got a treble stitch here and a treble stitch here. You've got 2 long tails or posts of the stitch, but they go into 1 stitch at the top. I'm going to yarn over and make a 3rd treble crochet stitch, or a treble crochet stitch on its own, and there you can see it. You've now got your cluster that's pretty much sitting on top of that join. It does look a little bit different from the other treble 3 clusters because it looks as if it's got 4 legs, but if you look at the top, I don't know if you can see that, if I count, that's 1, 2, 3 stitch tops. This cluster, 1, 2, 3 stitch tops. So you've done a cluster over the top of that join. And then you can go on and continue with your treble 3. That's 2 clusters and another 2 to do. I'll do one more of the treble 2 together clusters, and then it's quite simply a case of working around all 4 sides. So that's me done my 4 clusters between the joins. So we're at the next join between the 2 squares. Yarn over, make 1 treble crochet stitch, yarn over, in, grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops but leave the last 2 on the hook, yarn over into the next corner. You've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then yarn over and pull through the last 3, and then finish off with 1 treble crochet stitch. And that's your treble 2 together cluster. It does look a little bit like 2 clusters. Just be aware that it's 1. So when you come to do anything else after that, you only work in that space and then that space. Don't think about splitting this. This is 1 cluster. So you can work on, when you get to the next corner of the blanket, it's treble 3, chain 2 treble 3 as usual, and work all round all 4 sides, and then you're ready to start with the section with the mini grannies, which will be fun, and I'll be back to show you that in a minute.